Hello, everybody, and welcome to Technology Today for July 27th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 30. I am MayorWatt. I'm the visualizer on the right. The Sentient AI from the future is my co-host, but they're not available at the moment. And we're going to talk about a 150-year physics mystery that got solved, alien under ice, supplement reversed heart damage. I am the Egg Slug, and a new type of plasma wave over Jupiter. That and maybe some more. Maybe we digress in some way. At any rate, hope you enjoy the show. Everything's powered by ohmTown.com. Go over there and hang out there. Really, it's just information overload, news aggregation. You can manage all of that. I was told recently that YouTube doesn't like the idea of me sending people to other sites, but there is only one place really for me, and that's ohmTown.com, because it manages all of my information overload, and I can't do that anywhere else. There's nothing but news over at ohmTown.com. No noise. If you go into it and you hang out there, you can post comments and whatnot, but really, the people that use it for information management. All of the news that you could possibly use is over there, and if there's something missing, you can send an email to mayor@ohmTown.com, and I'll investigate it, see if it is something that can be integrated into ohmTown, because it's all news, no noise. All right, the first article is over in, Technology Today. Look at that. It's one of our 6 weekly shows. It's on Sundays between WarCrafters and FourWheelTech. You can check that out as a podcast. You can watch this. There's a version of it on YouTube as well. In the last 60 days, it would be on Twitch as well. But Twitch deletes everything after 60 days and doesn't have a message board. At any rate, this blue laser just solved a 150-year physics mystery. For over a century, physics knew that there was a strange magnetic signal that shouldn't exist, or should exist, I should say. My gosh. MayorWatt, what are you doing? Should exist in everyday metals like copper and gold, but they couldn't see it. Now, with using only a blue laser and a clever tweak to a classic technique, scientists have detected this elusive phenomenon known as optical Hall effect. I wonder if they use that. What is it called? Anyway, the Hebrew University of Jerusalem put this article together over at scitechdaily.com. And it starts with an R, I thought. Let me see if that's what they use. Anyway, a group of researchers has created an innovative way to detect extremely faint magnetic signals in everyday metals like copper, gold, and aluminum, using only light and a refined optical technique. Their findings, published in the journal Nature Communications, could lead to major advancements in technologies ranging from smartphones to quantum computing. See, I've always thought that there was something missing in our observations, particularly in metals, because there are a lot of metals that are deemed not ferrous, like aluminum, yet they're metallic. They should have a magnetic field of some type. That was my estimation. But it says it's a puzzle. Why can't we see the optical Hall effect? So scientists have long known that electric currents curve when exposed to magnetic fields. This behavior, called the Hall effect, is well documented in magnetic materials like iron. However, in metals that are not naturally magnetic, such as copper and gold, the effect is much weaker and more difficult to observe. The thing about it, though, is that gold and copper and other metals can manage or handle quite well, like gold, an electric current. And an electric current creates a magnetic field, and the other way around. If you want to generate electricity, you spin a magnetic field. So there had to have been something, right? Well, a similar but lesser known phenomenon known as the optical Hall effect was predicted to provide insight into how electrons move when exposed to both light and magnetic fields. Yet despite more than a century of theoretical understanding, this effect has been too subtle to detect with visible light. So it was trying to hear a whisper in a noisy room for decades. Everyone knew the whisper was there, but we didn't have a microphone sensitive enough to hear it. And this is one of the things that I also speak about that I think that we can't detect things that are permeated by the very thing that we're trying to detect, because you can't make something devoid of the thing you're trying to detect if it is part and parcel to the physics of existence. Thus, you need a sensor that can actually detect when something is detectable, but it's like being in a pool and you are a drop of water. So you might think of metals like copper and gold as magnetically quiet. They don't stick to your fridge like iron does, but in reality, under the right conditions, they do respond to magnetic fields. It's just extremely subtle. So turning up the volume on magnetic whispers, they use the magneto-optical Kerr effect, which uses a laser to measure how magnetism alters light's reflection. Think of it as using a high-powered flashlight to catch the faintest glint off of a surface in the dark. By combining a 440 nanometer blue laser with a large amplitude modulation of the external magnetic field, they dramatically boosted the technique's sensitivity. The result, they were able to pick up magnetic echoes in non-magnetic materials like copper, gold, aluminum, tantalum, platinum, a feat previously considered near impossible. So it is the noise that became the signal. Digging deeper, the team found that what appeared to be random noise in their signal wasn't random at all. Instead, it followed a clear pattern tied to a quantum property called spin-orbit coupling, which links how electrons move to how they spin, a key behavior in modern physics. So there you go. I'm not a physicist, and I wouldn't be able to compel anybody that, my brain is capable of doing something like this, but I've thought about this. I've expected this to be discovered, and there's other things that I expect to be discovered eventually, but I don't think we have the technology to discover it yet. Not yet. So interestingly, even Edwin Hall, the greatest scientist of all, who discovered the Hall effect, attempted to measure his effect using a beam of light with no success. He summarizes in the closing sentence of his notable paper from 1881, "I think that if the action of silver had been 1/10 as strong as that of iron, the effect would have been detected. No such effect was observed." But it isn't 1/10. It's a fraction of a fraction. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Technology Today. Geologists stumble on an alien-like landscape beneath Antarctica's ice. Hidden landscapes under Antarctic ice may slow glacier flow. These ancient surfaces could change how we predict sea level rise. Scientists have identified remnants of ancient landscapes in East Antarctica that are believed to have been shaped by rivers that may offer new insight into predicting future ice flow. So they believe that the way that this looks is caused by erosion. Durham University put the article together, but it's published at scitechdaily.com as well as other places. A research team led by Durham University in the UK analyzed radar data showing ice thickness and uncovered vast flat surfaces that had not been previously mapped. These buried features extend across 3,500 kilometer section of East Antarctica's coast. So all of this at the bottom. So big flat areas. The researchers believe that these surfaces were originally linked and formed by a major river system following the separation of East Antarctica and Australia around 80 million years ago, but before the continent became ice-covered roughly 34 million years ago. So according to the researchers, these flat surfaces lie beneath the ice sheet and are separated by deep troughs that guide the movement of fast-flowing glaciers. In contrast, the ice sitting above the flat areas move at a significantly slower pace. Although Antarctica is experiencing increasing ice loss, the flat surfaces appear to act as natural barriers, helping to limit the flow of ice in some regions. So, that's quite interesting. So the configuration of East Antarctica, Australia, and India prior to continental breakup, the red outlines in this image show that the flat surfaces mapped in the study, they line up with the other coastal regions, and it may have been carved away by a flow of rivers or one major river that just kind of ate away, eroded it until it split. So he says details like the shape and geological features of the newly charted surfaces are key to improving our understanding of ice flow dynamics at the edge of the East Antarctica. This, in turn, will enhance our ability to forecast how East Antarctica ice sheet might influence future sea levels under varying climate scenarios. And no, I'm not saying that erosion caused plate tectonics. It's a little bit more macro than that, but the next article is over in Technology Today as well. Remarkable results. Scientists say that this supplement reversed heart damage. Well, if the cure for a life-threatening heart condition wasn't a drug or surgery, but a supplement you could find on a store shelf, well, Japanese researchers have uncovered that trisiprin, I think it's called, a dietary supplement, triggered a dramatic reversal in heart disease symptoms in 2 patients with rare treatment-resistant condition. So the University of Osaka put this article together. It's published at scitechdaily.com and other places, of course. The researchers treated 2 patients, and after years of chest pain and failed therapies, the patients experienced relief and even regression of artery clogging fat deposits. The key wasn't lowering cholesterol, but breaking down triglycerides inside heart cells, a novel and potentially groundbreaking approach to cardiac care. Pardon me one second. So they're talking about coronary artery. Oh my gosh, MayorWatt, what is going on with your brain? Coronary artery disease, or CAD, is a condition where arteries supplying blood to the heart become narrowed or blocked, often leading to heart attacks. Although treatments like cholesterol-lowering medications and drug-eluting stents, a newer type of stent that delivers medication directly to the artery walls, are widely used, many patients continue to experience poor outcomes. It's because you're not fixing the problem, you're just treating the symptom. So with the treatment, they apparently reversed their heart disease. Almost 15 years later, we identified a new type of CAD called triglyceride deposit cardiomyopathy, or TGCF, in which the coronary arteries are occluded by triglyceride deposits generated by defective intracellular breakdown of triglycerides in vascular smooth muscle cells. The mechanism makes TGCV distinct from classic cholesterol-induced arteriosclerosis and accounts for patients who are resistant to standard remedies for CAD. So quite intriguing, but I don't know if this would be available as a treatment for everybody, and maybe everybody suffers from a little bit of TGCV. They say here in the article that both had suffered from refractory chest pain and diabetes until diagnosis with TGCV and subsequent dietary intake of trisiprin led to symptom relief. So quite interesting. This was a reference from the remarkable regression of diffuse coronary arteriosclerosis in patients with triglyceride deposit cardiomyopathy by Kenichi Hirano, Masahiro Higashi, and Tenachi Nakajima in the European Heart Journal. Dun, dun, dun. All right. The next article is over in Technology Today as well. Scientists discover unusual new species of sea slug that looks like an egg. 2 colorful new sea slugs have been discovered in Indonesia. 5 women scientists representing Germany, Indonesia, and Wales have identified and formally described 2 previously unknown species of wart sea slugs found in the waters off North Sulawesi, Indonesia. Isn't there an island out there that, like, if you try and go over there, they just throw a dart at you and kill you in the water? I don't know. Pensoft Publishers is what is being given the byline, but it's published over at scitechdaily.com. 2 colorful new sea slug species have been discovered in Indonesia, and if you ever see anything that's that bright, stay the hell away from it. Wart sea slugs, which belong to the Philididae family, are widespread throughout the Indo-Pacific region. They feed on sponges and incorporate toxins from their prey into their own chemical defenses, and their vibrant colors and ability to deter predators through chemical means have made them well known among both researchers and marine life enthusiasts. In North Sulawesi, alone, scientists have discovered somewhere around 350 species of sea slugs. Among these, nearly 100 are believed to be newly discovered, but not yet officially named. I've got one. You could name it the MayorWatt sea slug. That would be great. With the formal recognition of Philidia, ovata, and Philidia fongi, two particularly rare and strikingly colored species have now been added to the scientific record. Look at that. This one looks like a void with candy corn on it. And the one up here looks like somebody took a rock and cut it in half. And you know how it has that like strata in it of colors of deposition? Yeah, looks pretty cool. Anyway, sea slugs look pretty cool, but they're wild animals. Leave them the hell alone. Don't touch them. Don't lick them. They don't taste like candy corn. So they're honoring the legacy of biodiversity research. To a large extent, these discoveries were made possible thanks to people who do not have the formal scientific education, but are passionate about documenting and protecting Earth's diversity. Photographs and data posted on citizen science platforms like iNaturalist, social media sites like Facebook, and dedicated sea slug communities such as NudiPixel, I guess, NudiPixel, and the now defunct Sea Slug Forum, which is sad, provided the researchers with vital information for identifying these nudibranches as new to science and establishing a more realistic geographical distribution when only few specimens are available for study. Pretty cool. Okay, and our last article is over on the Wanted channel. Astronomers detect entirely new type of plasma wave above Jupiter's North Pole. Plasma waves are a critical element to understanding how many mysteries of the giant's turbulent, magnetically powerful atmosphere, and they've done something with this. So Gyung Lee put the article together over at gizmodo.com, and it says, since entering Jupiter's orbit in 2016, NASA's Juno spacecraft has been hard at work unveiling the many discovering some of the stuff that we call mysteries of our solar system's largest planet. And its latest discovery may be one of the most intriguing yet, an entirely new type of plasma wave near Jupiter's poles. In a paper published Wednesday in Physical Review Letters, astronomers describe an unusual pattern of plasma waves in Jupiter's magnetosphere, a magnetic bubble shielding the planet from external radiation. So, let's see. Oh, it's like a donut? Is that what it looks like? So, for the study, the researchers analyzed the behavior of plasma waves in Jupiter's magnetosphere containing highly magnetized, low-density plasma. The team, a collaboration between researchers from the University of Minnesota, Iowa, the University of Iowa, let me make that clear, and the Southwest Research Institute, Texas, found an unexpected oscillation between Alfvén waves and Langmuir waves, which reflect the movement of the plasma's atoms and movement of the electrons in the plasma, respectively. So the observed plasma properties are really unusual, not found before and elsewhere in our solar system. Unlike Earth's auroras, which are caused by solar storms, Jupiter's aurora is a barrage of frisky, super fast particles that are hundreds of times more energetic than auroras on Earth, sometimes emerge as a product of its powerful magnetic field. All right. Okay, there's a lot more over here at this article, but that is it for today's Technology Today. If you want to go a deeper dive into it and then come back and talk shop about it, you can follow the links through. You can hit !TT over on Twitch and you'll get the show notes, or you can read the show notes over on YouTube for this episode of Technology Today. But that's it for today. So we are out of here. And I'm going to energetically launch us back to the front page of Technology Today at ohmTown.com, and we'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye.